This is Vicky, and I'm the BD manager from ChemLinked Food Portal. Nice to meet you on today's webinar. In the following 40 minutes, we will be discussing how to increase the efficiency of your food compliance management. If you have any questions during this webinar, feel free to write it in the chat box or send us by email after this webinar. And this webinar will be divided into 3 parts. In part 1, we will be discussing non-compliance status of food ingredient and label in China. And to begin with, I have a quick questions for you. As we all know that rejection is an ingredient that is believed good for our health. So my question is, which food category below is not within the application scope of rejection? Before confirming the answer, what we should know is that only if the rejection manually planted for more than 5 years or less than 5 years can be regarded as food raw materials. And we also should pay attention to its application scope. According to the announcement, it is stipulated not suitable for pregnant women, breastfeeding women, and children under 14 years old. Therefore, the option D, baby food purees, is absolutely not allowed to be added with rejection. So the right answer in this situation, the answer is D. And in another situation, if the rejection has been manually planted for more than 5 years, it can only be used as healthy food ingredients. So, which means it is only permitted to be added to healthy food. So in this case, rejection is not allowed to be added in any one of above foods. And now let's see one set of data. According to our daily monitoring of the food import rejection data available by GAC, and we found that ingredients and the label no compliance have always been the major reasons for the food import rejection over the years. And among these cases, the enterprise always had to pay for their mistake and even suffer from economic loss. For example, a wine manufacturer once added snow looters to grape wine, and it is used as its selling point. However, snow looters is regarded as drug in China, and it cannot be added in food. So finally, the enterprise had to pay for 10 times compensations. And the second case is about the maximum residue level. Sulfur dioxide is used while producing dry logan. However, if the residue exceeds the maximum level stipulated in the corresponding GB standards, it is still no compliant, and the enterprises had to pay for the compensations. Apart from that, I also would like to mention that the enterprise need also pay attention to the application scope. So in case 3, a food enterprise added sodium dihydroacetate to the flavor flow product. According to the official announcement, flavor flow product is classified as instant flow product, which is out of the application scope of sodium dihydroacetate. So much to our pity, actually this product was only sold at 2.5 RMB, but eventually the enterprises had to pay for 1,000 RMB. Therefore, if the enterprises could have a real knowledge of the food ingredients regulations, I think we can minimize socio-economic loss this time. And however, we do understanding that it is always time consuming and always take a lot of effort for enterprise to search for relevant legal basis and confirm the compliance status of their products. Especially there isn't a positive list of the permitted food ingredient in China. So to be honest, it is really hard for enterprise to understand the regulation completely. So to make everything easier, ChemLinked has developed an intelligent system, COMBOX. The COMBOX is an intelligent Chinese for the compliance management tool developed by ChemLinked and Rich24Edge Consulting Group. This system leverages the data intelligence to help you make compliance audit and label production faster, easier, and more enjoyable. And you can see the COMBOX interface is composed with 9 sections below. And first, I will give you a brief introduction of each key functions. And then we will go to the COMBOX web page to have a depth look of each functions. Also, I will demonstrate how to take advantages of this system. So now I suggest you can click the links here to log in this system first, and then follow my demonstration step to have a better understanding of how COMBOX help you with compliance audit and label making. If you don't have the account, you need to click register now to create a new account. If you are already ChemLinked users, you can just log in through ChemLinked login authentication. And after the registration, you will be granted for 3 days unlimited free trial to COMBOX system automatically. And then the first key function is ingredient check, which can help you achieve the permitted usage of the ingredient in China and obtain the key data regarding use basis, use limited, and the legal basis, etc. And the powerful search tool contains more than 5,000 standard search terms and 20,000 alien search terms of ordinary food raw materials, which are collected based on over 10 years audit data of our compliance team. And the ingredient content in this system covers China approved new food raw materials, new nutritional fortification substance approved in China, and new food additives approved in China, and the new nutritional fortification substance listed in GB 14880. Food additives are allowed to be used in listed in GB 2760. And the categories of substance traditionally considered as both food and Chinese medicine, bacteria culture is permitted in foods. And second key function is compliance audit, which can help you with formula review intelligently. And you can just put all the ingredient information, and a pre-feasibility assessment will be delivered instantly. And for the label making, ChemBox can provide the mandatory label items in accordance with China food regulations, and you can just make a Chinese label sample by using this function. And next, it's time for lead demonstration. Have you all finished the COMBOX registration? Okay, then here we go. And now I'm going to take this chocolate product, for example, and demonstrate how COMBOX can help you with its compliance audit and label making. The ingredient information is listed here. And then let's get started with these informations. And this is the loading page of the COMBOX system. And as we mentioned before, if you don't have the account, you can just click register now to create a new account. Or if you are already ChemLinked members, you can just log in through ChemLinked logo authentications. And now I'm going to use my own account. And since the system supports 3 languages, include Chinese, English, and Japanese, you can just switch to the corresponding language system by click text here. And the user guidance can be downloaded here. And all the key functions are listed in the right side. And then let's go through one by one. First is dashboard. The dashboard is like an information center which can provide the user conditions, such like the login number and material cover and the most up-to-date recent audit records. And the second function is material cover. This function can help you to very quickly retrieve the usage of the ingredient in China. Let's take the first ingredient of the chocolate, for example. The first ingredient is the cocoa nuts. And if you use this function, you can easily find its ingredient attributes and the application scope, user limited, and the legal basis here. So basically, as a product for the ingredient in China, the cocoa mass can be used in all the ordinary food, except those with special requirements. And the second key function is compliance audit. And before the compliance audit, we need to import the product name and select its corresponding product categories as well as the place of origin. And please be aware that the food categories, the system classifies the food categories according to the classification rule in GB 2760. If you are not sure about the food categories, you can just contact us for manual audits. And after choose all the and then we just need to import the ingredients information one by one here, or you can also you can just download the template here and fill it out, then import the receipt at one time, or even you can choose quick import to import the ingredient information according to the required format. And likewise, let's take the chocolate, for example. And now I will import the ingredient information one by one here. And please be aware that if you choose to import the ingredient information one by one, it should be filled in the order of adding quantities from the most to the least. First ingredient. And after entering each ingredient, the system will show you its suggested Chinese name and its ingredient attributes. if there is a compound ingredient, it can be filled with up to three levels of sub-ingredients. For example, if we know that cheese is a compound ingredient, then you can just click the plus here to add its sub-ingredients. And if there is a food additive that is not that is not directly used in the food, but it was brought through other food ingredients contained in this food, the system will conduct the compliance audit of the sub-ingredient, will conduct the compliance audit based on carryover principle. And after filling all the necessary information, we can just click compliance audit, and the pre-feasibility assessment will be generated instantly. And you can see this report is comprised of prejudgment of each ingredient, compliance suggestion, legal basis, and any other notes that you need to pay attention to. And according to the audit result, since the chocolate product is out of the application scope of sucralose, so this compliance audit result is failed. And with the same product formula, you can also check its compliance data on the other food categories. For example, if we choose which is COMBOX candy, and you will find the result is compliant. And in case you need to modify the ingredient information next time, you can just save it to draft, so that you can easily find the code in the draft column. And sometimes if you need to share this report to your colleagues, you can just generate the report and download this report. And due to the rapid change of Chinese regulations and GB standards, it is suggested to review the product formula periodically, at least once every 3 months or once every 4 months. And in this case, you can just save it to product library, so that you can process the formula review very quickly next time. And after the compliance audit, let's proceed with the label making. And you can just click the label making button on the top right corner of this online report. And after, when we come to the label making web page, you can see that the corresponding ingredient information in Chinese has been imported automatically, and you can just click the edit button to modify the ingredient informations. And even though you import the ingredient information in English, the system will generate its corresponding Chinese name automatically. And then we just need to import all the necessary information listed here, and the items with the asterisk are mandatory to be filled. And now let's fill them one by one. And first is production states. And after filling all the necessary information, just click Save and Preview. A Chinese label sample will be generated automatically. And likewise, you can also download this document by clicking Tag here. And that's all the demonstration of the key functions. And in order to make sure that you can take full advantages of what the COMBOX can offer, we provide two different premium membership options: standard and enterprise. Basically, standard membership and the enterprise membership can also enjoy unlimited access to the system. But the most significant difference between them are the standard membership allows only one account, while enterprise membership allows at most 10 accounts. Besides, the enterprise members can also get additional time manual audits not supported by our ChemLinked technical team during their subscribing years. And what is more, to celebrate the launch of ChemLinked COMBOX, we are offering 20% discount before May 1st. If you are interested, just contact us by email here. And at last, please allow me to take 1 minute to briefly introduce what is ChemLinked in case some of you are still not familiar with us. ChemLinked is a global leading membership-based platform of English regulatory information with more than 50,000 registered members. And we are dedicated to broadcasting the most up-to-date regulatory news, in-depth regulatory analysis and market insight, searchable regulation database, online courses around Asia-Pacific regions. And relying on our own technical advantages and resources, we are adequate to provide one-stop import service for overseas enterprises, such like the hourly consulting service, regulation monitoring, market research, training, product rejection and filling, ingredient review, GB regulation translations, and etc. And you are more than welcome to contact us if you are interested in any of our service. Okay, that's all about this webinar.